Hey, JT. We've heard a lot about leadership. You taking the reins. Can you talk about what being a leader at quarterback means to you?
I think first and foremost, it starts with how you approach everything you do, especially as a veteran now. This is my fourth season of college football. I remember when I was coming in, how I looked up to the older guys in the building, and I can only imagine that other guys look up to the Lewis scenes and people that have been here for a while that have just played a lot of ball like myself. So I think the first thing it is just how it starts with how you approach everything. And then I think that's also really important that I've been focused on is just my overall body language and my mannerisms. Typically, I've always been just more of a laid back kind of guy, especially on the field. I'm never a hype man. That's just never been my thing. But I've put more effort into, not just words of encouragement, but trying to keep everyone focused on task. If someone's not doing the right thing, I got to tell them they're not doing the right thing. And if I'm not doing the right thing, someone's going to tell it to me, and I got to take criticism the same way I dished out. So there's just there's a lot of areas of leadership that I've really tried to take a step in.
Along the same lines, JT, when do you think that you became a leader or the leader for this team? Was it after the state game? Was it after the Cincinnati game? How do you know that you've taken that role?
Um, I think it's something we talk about a lot as a team is that everybody on the team is a leader, whether you just joined and you're a walk-on or you're Jamari Salyer or you're Lewis or you're Speed or any of them. I think obviously your role expands the more you play, and you just have a bigger platform in that area. But I think since I've been here, I've always tried to take the approach of first leading by example. Then once I think you earn a certain level of trust in your teammates from them seeing how you work and knowing that you're here for them, that you can start being more vocal and doing more things.
Let's go to Dasher and then Seth.
Hey, JT, good to see you. Even when Jake Fromm was here, Coach Smart was always very hesitant about naming a starting quarterback for the upcoming season. But in your case, he kind of made an exception and said that you were going to be the guy. Now that was not expected or anything, but being that he did, what did that mean to you to have him do that?
The first thing is it really is a great honor to be a starting divisional quarterback anywhere, especially at a program like Georgia. And to hear from your coach that you do try really hard to show out for, it's something that's really cool to hear, and it definitely gives a little bit of confidence booster, just to hear that your coach believes in you.
JT, everything was such a whirlwind for you in 2020. Did you have a chance after the season to decompress? And if so, where did you go? What did you do?
I've still been here since I moved. I have not been back home, so I've just kind of fully transitioned to just living in Georgia. Been hanging out with my dogs a lot, and then workout started before you know it. So not much of like a decompress thing, but that's never been something I've really needed too much. I play the game because I love it, and I really don't need much time away from it.
Let's go to Chip and then Mark.
Yeah, JT, obviously you guys got a lot of talent out there at the wide receiver position, but did any part of you, losing George, the word was y'all were really building some great chemistry, and obviously he's a different kind of cat. Just what was your reaction to that, and then what are you seeing from all those different guys that are being asked to step up in his stead?
Yeah, well, the first thing I think is you got to be there for George the person more than George the player. And as a person who's torn his ACL and had a catastrophic knee injury, first thing I did was just check in on him, make sure he's okay. And I think the biggest thing for him is that I think his two biggest strengths are his confidence and his love of football. So I think it's going to be big for him and big on me to make sure he keeps those two things central to him. In terms of other receivers, obviously, yeah, we have a loaded receiver room, and it's great to see some of the young guys, J-Rob, Jermaine before just a little knee thing. D-Rob's been stepping up. Kieris is always Kieris. You have a great receiver room, and as much as you hate to lose George, and you do, and there's no understating that. You got a lot of guys that are going to work their butt off and try and develop and produce, in any way they can.
JT, how much did trying to win a national championship kind of drive you to, I don't know how much you were seriously looking at the next level after last season, but, and then, to piggyback on the Pickens thing, how much difficult is it to win a national title if that guy's not on the field catching passes?
There's no denying that I do want to win a natty, and I think we have the team to do it. Obviously, losing George doesn't help you. Losing the elite top tier receiver doesn't help you. But it's a great team. I think and Coach Smart's done a really good job of instilling a team standard and team DNA that a lot of the guys have really taken accustomed to. There's a lot of good things going for the team, and as much as you hate to lose George, there's just things we got to focus on, things we got to develop because we have the team, to do whatever we want.
Let's go to Jake and then Sarah.
JT, I wanted to ask you about a guy that's kind of getting a little bit of buzz out of spring practice, Donnie Mitchell. I know you've only worked with him just a little bit, but what are you seeing out of him, and what are your impressions of him as a receiver?
I'm definitely a fan of AD. One thing I can say that jumped out to me initially was when he first got here, and I had my throwing sessions with the receivers. He was a consistent show. He was there every time, and he'd like to run. He'd get his conditioning in. I think you're talking about how he plays. He's got great twitch, and he's going to develop to be a great young player. And we just got to let him take his time and learn the system and do his thing. And I think he'll be a good football player.
Hey, JT, I was curious to know about kind of how Brock has been looking at quarterback so far this spring practice, and what kind of advantages it helps having a quarterback come in early during spring practice and getting an extra semester with you guys to learn from y'all.
Yeah. So first with Brock, I really like Brock. Instantly, him and I had a good connection. We really have a great quarterback room where everyone's really good friends and really genuinely helps each other. Every time after a series in practice, a series in a game, I go to Stetson Carson, ask him what they saw. It was the same thing when Stet was in. Same thing when Carson's done is he comes and asks me stuff, and I think Brock's really taken to that. He asks a lot of questions. He has to go over stuff with me. He wants to learn, and it's great to see. And just overall for the quarterbacks, I think it's just a great room.
Let's go to Connor and then Matthew.
Hey, JT, obviously your knee has improved year over year, but what areas of your game have really improved from where you were, I guess, last April to right now?
I would say last April to now, I would say the biggest thing that the game is definitely slowing down to a certain extent. I've gotten better at eliminating unnecessary things to look at pre-play. And something else I've been working on is decision-making and, not making bad plays worse. Which is something that has always been a constant improvement for me that I always need to emphasize is, guys are going to slip, someone's going to run a wrong route every now and then, someone's going to miss protection now and then. And it's on me to not make it worse and compound a mistake and, give a turnover. Incompletions aren't bad, throwaways aren't bad. That's probably the biggest thing I'm working on. And the biggest thing that I've noticed is the game definitely slowing down a little bit with understanding where to go with the ball faster and by seeing less.
Yeah, JT, with the momentum that the offensive side of the ball was gaining in the last few games last season, why is it you think that some really talented players on that side of the ball chose to come back for this season particularly?
I do think there's a lot of guys that, really knew what we have and the potential that we have. And one, love to win, two, love to compete, and want to put themselves in a good light as possible before they finish their career in college and head to the next level.
All right, Palmer, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, along those same lines, unfinished business kind of seemed like the mantra of the decision season. How much has that carried over into the spring as maybe a motto for the team?
Yeah, unfinished business. Run it back was the name of our dog time, 6 a.m. conditioning time. There's definitely been a level of that, in that we did have a lot of guys come back and a lot of really good players, a lot of experienced players come back to try and, make a push and make a difference in, Georgia football this year. It's been something that's said, but that's not the real central push for us has been our team standard and our team DNA.
All right, Davis, go ahead with your question.
I think I'm muted. Hey, JT. Yeah, I was just wondering, with the injuries that we've seen, obviously George, Jermaine, Arian, is there anybody that maybe we haven't suspected that you formed a really good chemistry with this spring?
In general, the whole receiving staff, the running backs have been great, and I think the tight ends have been really exceptional as well. Fitz deserves a lot of a lot of respect and a lot of praise for how hard he works, and I think how much better his ball skills have gotten. John Fitzpatrick has developed a lot. Darnell has obviously developed a lot. That whole tight end room has done a great job. I think Zamir's gotten better in and out of breaks in his routes. Cook and Kenny, unfortunately Kenny out, but Cook, Kendall, and Kenny, all of them great route runners. And really all the other receivers in general that you all know and I'll talk about. They come in, they work, they go special teams, they go receiver, they run their butt off all day, and they're all getting better.
Cody, I saw you jump back in. Do you have a question? Okay, JT, thanks for your time tonight, buddy, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
So much.